Action Comics 1004. Brian Michael Bendis writing, Ryan Sook on the art. And so Connor's not reading Bendis Superman because he's bit Connor.
No.
So I never said that's bad.
I could feel the implication was there. I could feel it. It's just it was all in the tone of voice.
All right.
Not to make Connor feel dumb, but this is fantastic. So
it's pretty good. I did have a little bit of an issue with this one.
Ooh.
With Lois?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, you had a problem specifically that she said baby too much, and I agree she said that too much. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like yes, it feels like Lois, but it feels like imposter Lois. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
because here's my thing. I mean, if it turns out it's an imposter, then sure, we'll go down that path. I don't think it is, though.
I don't either.
My thing is that the issue is mainly like it's telling us, okay, so what happened when Clark went to see her? And we see them in bed, and we see them, reconcile. We see them flying at the end, and it's kind of her explaining. First of all, she shows him, oh, John's fine. He's with his grandfather. It was dangerous for me. He's fine. He's It's
I
like
love the
he hit puberty.
By the way, your dad is crazy as you thought he was. Like, I love that. As someone with a dad who I have a difficult relationship, that is something my wife would tell me. Yeah, your dad is as crazy as you think he is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think for me, it's just I don't know if her entire thing, her entire motivation for her like hiding herself from him and wanting to not be living together right now. I don't know if it necessarily clicked together for me.
No, I feel there's going to be more coming up later.
Yeah.
But, this is just the seed of it, because whatever happened in space is what caused her to feel this way. And we don't know what that is yet. Now, if we get there and it's just something that's kind of like, oh, well, I couldn't be around these Kryptonians and be a human, then I'm going to feel a little robbed, But if something like major happened and she was just a liability, and she's like, well, I got to go back to what I know I'm good at, then I can see this kind of attitude.
Yeah, it never quite clicked for me where I'm like, okay, I get why she's been doing this then. I never had that moment. She's telling me that she felt that Clark and John didn't need her anymore, and she has to go back to her roots and be a writer. It felt a little bit like, okay, here's the drama reason, because Bendis just wants her to be kind of separate for a while and do her own thing for a while. As opposed to actually feeling justifiable to the character. It's not a big deal. Like it's not like, oh my god, this is a betrayal of everything they are or anything like that. It's just, I don't know if I quite necessarily feel that the reason is working for me. Now, the stuff that it's teasing that Lex has apparently offered her own paper is like, oh, okay, that's a thing we could do. That's something interesting.
So while I had issues with the amount of time she says baby to Clark, I feel Bendis' voice for her is spot on. Like, she has that trademark Lois, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, there's a bite to her. You know what I mean?
It's not quite snark. I don't think snark's the right word.
No, yeah, and that's why I don't want to say snark or salt, but there's a little twinge of an attitude. And it's hard to describe, but I think Bendis got it here. Just like with the way that they talk about Lex here, But
oh yeah, the whole idea that like he assumed that Superman was close by, so she just kind of went along with that assumption so that he wouldn't try anything stupid.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Because there's the whole scene where Trish like has a photo of Lex with Lois and starts asking Clark, "How do you feel about this?" There's rumors about what's going on. They're at the motel bedroom together, and Clark isn't worried about that, but there's this public perception now, and Perry kicks her out and gets really kind of upset as well.
Yeah. I love how he's like, I said I would never hire another gossip columnist after Cap Grant, but they assured me you'd be fine, and I've made a huge mistake. Like I read that as Job, so but yeah, I love his Perry too. Like this is like the amalgamation of all the Perrys from pop culture that I love. Like I hear Lane Smith in there, but yeah.
Yeah. Or even Clark and Lois saying "Great Caesar's ghost" after they have sex. It's pretty funny.
So like, again, I don't want to sound pervy, but that scene was hilarious. Where it looks like they plop into bed.
Why would that be pervy sounding? You said you found it hilarious.
Just, I don't know.
It's not like you said, "Oh, I hope it doesn't sound too pervy," but oh god, I was really sweating during that scene. Oh, Lois and Clark.
No, but yeah, just the
what
empty.
the hell did I miss? I come back and I just go, Matt going, "Oh, I hope I don't sound pervy."
Just the fact that they're. Where are they on the bed? Are they floating? Are they so into it that Clark's lifted off? Are they just on the other end of the bed? Like, I know
you only see the pillows, Matt.
Too much thought.
A normal couple could have just been down the bed a bit, doggy style. They finish and then they plot back to the pillows.
But they're not a normal couple, Pete. He's an alien.
Well, true, they could have been floating, but I could explain this for normal people too. This isn't that weird.
I know, but the fact that I was thinking about it, that's why I didn't want to come off as pervy. Like, it's the whole Mallrats thing where you're like, wow, your friend thinks about superhero sex organs more than anybody I've ever heard. I
never thought about it. I just said, they were having sex further down the bed. That's all I thought. And then they lie back into bed.
The disorientation too, where they come in upside down.
Yeah, that's a nice touch.
Like I like that, and then he leaves to go to Iron Heights. I thought that was pretty fun because you had some rogues. Yeah. Well, they're not really rogues.
Copperhead attacked the planet at one point, and he swoops in and deals with it. I like how he looks at the old newspaper, the front cover, the Death of Superman cover. He's like, "Hey, good old days, eh, Perry?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah."
Also, him checking Perry for cancer. I was just like, "Oh man." Like,
yeah, because Perry asked for it, like he's asked for it a few times, and he's like, "Nope, still no sign of cancer. You're good, Perry."
Yep.
And he's like, "Thanks." I'm like, "All right, that's a neat touch." No, I mean, I think the ending.
We gotta talk about the scene. Okay, talk about the end, and we'll talk about the middle part.
Yeah, I just want to say that the ending is kind of perfect. Though I think that as much as I have some problems with her reasons for why she's doing what she's doing right now, I think the ending scene is perfectly sweet, and it feels very Clark and Lois. It feels like Smallville and Lois, even if you want to put it that way.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't matter that they're flying, and this issue is reaffirming that hey, anyone who's worried about him splitting them up, it's not happening. He's doing something different for a while, where they're not necessarily being like a married unit, but
right.
There's nothing weird you need to be worried about necessarily. Although I will say I do get this feeling though that John's going to come back a bit older.
Me too.
He's going to come back and he's going to be like 14, 15. He's going to be like a proper teen.
It seems the way she was talking about it was like he hit puberty and turned into a monster. Right?
Speaking of pervy, yeah, horny little teenage John going around with his heat vision. Which, I mean...
in that last scene, too, where he wants to read her book, and she's like, well, it's not ready. And he's like, well, Cat Grant already read it. And like Lois gets legit pissed because of course Cat got an advance copy, but I thought that it's those little touches right there where they do feel like a married couple.
Yeah, which by the way, they've had the recap pages on these Action Comics issues. This one it's Lois's desk at the motel right now, and one of the posts it says Supergirl season 3, and issue 23 out now, like as if she's put a reminder up saying go buy the Blu-ray. Season 3's out.
Oh shoot! I didn't notice that one.
Yeah, I noticed that one.
I like to tell Clark I'm back? Question mark. Jurgen's case files is on there. Factual comparison of Byrne and Bendis Man of Steel.
There's another reference to this event or whatever he's doing coming up.
The Leviathan.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5 texts from Snapper Carr. There's on her phone. It's got the Shazam, the official movie soundtrack.
Yeah, it's a very meta page, isn't it?
And I like what she's talking about in that article. Did you read that?
I had a glance at it. Remind me.
So it's just basically how like these 3 simple ideas that Superman stands for: choose justice the American way. In modern times, they've been perverted by others in power that should know better. But what makes Superman so great is he still uses what they mean to him. So, like, why they've changed in the public consciousness, they haven't changed the Superman. So he's going to do it in his own way. It says, even if everything were to rewind back to normal by the time you read this, which it won't, but even if it did, these ideas have been so abused and manipulated that the attempt to find our compass in the modern age will take years. We're lucky to have someone like Superman who believes in these concepts as a religion. And it's just like, all right, well, Bendis... Can you have essays like in the back of those Phillips and Brubaker books, because I would read this. Like, just what he thinks of Superman in the modern era, to pick his brain just a little bit. I love when writers that I enjoy break down these superhero concepts. So, and just that one by Lois feels like a Lois article, but also like, hey, let's have this full thing.
Yeah, no, it's good.
But the kiss. What would you feel about? They're in the middle of Chicago. Superman swoops down, and he kisses his wife. I just took that. People like, oh, secret identity. But the way that I feel, it's like at this moment, he hasn't seen Lois in so long.
Yeah,
he just doesn't care.
This is a problem for me. I remember our friend James, when this image got released,
Yeah.
this preview image, said, "Oh, I don't know that's what you think it is, because why would they kiss in public like that?" Two things. One, yeah, I don't think Superman cares at this point, and then two, I don't think anyone knows that's Lois Lane, because A, she's got a wig on since she's in Chicago. I don't think it's a concern. I really don't.
No, it's just like, well, who's Superman's girlfriend?
Yeah.
Like, who is this lady?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love how that scene plays out, though, because it's textless. It's just images.
Because we'd seen the start of this scene before. This was a few issues ago. We saw the ending, which didn't actually happen until this issue.
Right.
Right? I mean, it says some of the conversation happened last night because he... Well, no, it did happen because he mentioned it to Jimmy last issue. Yeah, he'd seen Lois.
So this is a tennis match. It's what's going on.
Yeah,
so...
it's going back and forth, yeah. But then eventually,
like
the next time he sees her, it's after she's seen Lex. So we see before and after that, yeah. No, it's pretty good.
He knocks her wig off when he swoops in, and she says, "Hi, honey." But yeah, it's not like anybody's paying attention to it. It's not like... I mean, that guy in the phone comes up behind him, but it's because Superman's there making out with a lady. Like,
yeah. I mean, it never even really crossed my mind more than a second.
Me neither. I just, as a fan of Superman and Lois, or Clark and Lois, the fact that we got the scene and has that emotional
the page is gorgeous. I mean, Connor's not read this one, but he was mentioning how stacked it is for art this week. This is on the pile.
Yes, it is.
So, that's the thing.
But yeah.
But anyway, so rate the book, Matt.
It's a 9, but I'm biased.
9. So. I'm going to give it an 8. I think Lois's reasons feel a little bit just, here's the reasons so that we can do the plot we want to do, as opposed to something that feels completely natural to me yet. But
So John comes back in, what, 3 issues? It's 10,007? We're at 1,007?
10,007, Matt. How many issues are we getting in the next few months?
What century are we in? But it's 1007. That came out as 10,007, but I meant to say 1007. But yeah. So we have 3 issues to I think find out.
Okay.
And if the payoff doesn't equate, I'll be a little bit of upset. But I'm enjoying this enough. Action is still one of my favorite books.
I like everything else about it. I like the supporting cast. I like Perry. I like the Trish stuff. With her being invasive.
Ooh.
All the actual
find out who Red Cloud is. That's the tease at the end of this issue. So
he's got an idea, right? He thinks he knows who it is. But you get all this stuff. The Lois and Clark moments are actually really sweet, especially the scene at the end. It's just some of our reasons feel a little bit just kind of forced so that we can do the plot we want to do, as opposed to feeling natural to make sense. But it's not a huge deal, I think, in the long run. Well, let's see how it goes.